Di here from Diane and welcome to Wowzza Wednesday. Well, this week, this first one for the year is a impossible gift box. So what happens is it opens like this, right? And you slip your present or your gift, whichever you want to call it, inside. Now it will hold one of these small candles. I don't know what they call these, but you can get them anywhere, and the lid goes on back on like that, and it fits in there beautifully. Now this was my prototype. Excuse me, I've got glue on my fingers. I'm just going to pop that off. That's better. This was my prototype, and it was a little bit messy around the edges there. I didn't do a very good job, but it is a great box, and it doesn't take much to make. And the lid's never going to get lost because it pops over the top and it closes the top of the box up. I haven't, but that's a fantastic little idea. So these candles, I believe Yankee make these candles as well, this shape. I don't know what this one's called. It doesn't give me any name of it, but these are just lovely. They measure approximately 1 3/4 inches, and across the top just over about 1.5, just over 1.5 inches wide. So they'll fit in that box just perfectly. Or if you wanted anything else to go in that box, it can go in there. So I'm going to be using some products here that are again retired, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to stamp with this set here. And I've already done all my stamping, as I've actually embossed it. So I did my stamping and embossing in gold, and I just put "Just thinking of you today." So, and I'm putting that onto a nice gold outside piece. So that's what we're doing for that. And for my circles, I actually use these beautiful shapes dies, which are really lovely. There's some nice shapes on here, like octagonals and others, and weird ones, and another weirdy one there. So this is the largest of that circle, and the next one down in those. So I'll pop them back in there so I don't lose them. And they are called beautiful shape dies. Now they are currant, so that's really great. So both of those, the flowering tulips and the beautiful shape dies, are currant products. So this is what we need, and it's not a real lot, and I've done a little bit. Now my little ribbon bow here is from some retired gold ribbon, so I've just made a little bow here to go on it. So what we're going to need is, and I've done a lot of the work, is a piece of card that measures 8.5 by 8, and then we need 4 pieces, and I've done 1, 2, 3 of them. So we need 4 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 inches, and 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 1.5 by 1.5. We also need 4 pieces for the top of the box that measure 1 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch, like this one, and 1 piece is 1 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch to go onto there. Plus I've got my circles here, and that's all the pieces we need. So I'm actually going to just pop them out of the way and glue these 2 bits together, because of gluing onto mirror card takes a little bit longer to dry. Now why my glue is not coming out of here, I've got no idea. Let's have a look. Oh, it's been so warm that everything's drying so quickly. There we go. So I'll pop that one into there like so, and that one's got time to dry nicely, and the same with this other one here, so that these can dry nicely while we make the box, which is actually really very easy, believe it or not. So I hope you will enjoy this box. So I'll pop that one onto there so that can dry over there. So we're going to bring in our board, our scoreboard, and we're going to score on the long side, which is the 8.5 inch side. Okay, so because we're using cardstock here, we're going to score using the smaller ball, not the larger one, and we're going to score this at 2 inches, oh, excuse me, I've got an itchy eye. 4 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches. We're going to turn it onto the short side now, and we're going to score this at 2 inches, making sure it's nice and, so that's the short side, which is the 8-inch size. We're going to score this at 2 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches and 7 inches. So that's all the scoring we're going to do. So we're going to move this scoreboard out of the way, and before we actually fold and burnish this, we're going to leave this on this side, and we're going to actually do a little bit of pencil work. So we're going to bring this up to where we've got our 3 marks. This is the 5, the 6 and the 7-inch mark. It's not very easy to see on there, I know. But at the 7 one, the middle one out of the 3, we're going to measure in from the edge to the 1-inch mark. Now I'm having trouble seeing this even myself, so, and I'm just going to put a mark on each one of these squares at the 1-inch mark, right on that score line. Okay, whoops, and again on this last one. So I'm going to pop them in there like so. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to fold on that score line on its own. Just on its own, just that one score line for now. And seeing as we can just see it, we'll just make sure we can see it so you can see it properly, because I can always rub them out afterwards. Can't see that one. Okay. I'm going to now get my scissors, and I'm going to cut. I'm actually going to mark it on this side too, because I think I'm going to be easier to cut on this side, mainly because of being right-handed. 5 and 7. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut from this score line up to that mark there on this first one, so that we have a mark like this. With the next one, we're going to cut down the score line to that score line, next score line, and then from that mark over to where we cut that. So we've got this mark like this, okay? And we're going to do the same on the next one. So we're going to go down the score line to the next score line, and then on the angle across like so. And once again down this score line here, and from that mark at the 1-inch mark across, so that we have now pulled all them out, and we have like 4 arrows here. Now if you're like me and you've got marks on here, we'll just get our eraser and take our marks right off like so. Okay, so once we've done that, we can now do our rest of our cutting, which is, let me use my other scissors, these are much nicer. This little score line here, this tiny little one on the bottom, is coming off and cut on an angle. We're going to keep the next score line here, so we're going to cut into that one, and then these 2 score lines here, these 2 little ones here are coming off. So we're going to go up to the first mark here, and then we're coming across on an angle like so, and then we're going to just put a little bit of a wedge on the top of that, because it's going to make it just a little bit easier for when we actually put this together. Okay, so once we've done that, we can now do our bottom ones, which are these 2-inch squares here, which is not very easy to see. This lighting in here today is dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Sorry about that. And we're going to cut up to the score line on all 4 of them, like so. Now this one's going to be the back one, so we're going to wedge this in just a teensy little bit. Whoops, I didn't do that one very well. And the other side. And the one next to it. On both sides. We're going to leave this one here full. And this one here we're going to just wedge just a little bit on both sides. Okay, so that's our piece of card. So this is what it looks like now. So our box looks like this shape. We have our 4 arrows. This piece here is cut out. This piece here is cut out. These 3 here are wedged. 1, 2, 3. This one stays normal. Now I've got this little bit of that score line showing there, so I'm just going to actually trim up that one to that score line. That looks a bit better. For me it does anyway. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do all our folding and burnishing. So we're going to turn this over and we're going to fold and burnish all these bottom ones up like so. Okay, this top score line is going to be folded. This next score line here, which is the 5-inch one, is going to be folded this way. And this very, very top one is going to be folded backwards towards you. Then we're going to do our side ones. I'll turn this way, it's just a bit easier. And our 2 tabs on the end. Okie dokie. That's our tabs done. Okay, so with this one turned down like this, we are now going to add our layers. Now, as you can see, these don't go all the way to the top, and the reason for that is that if you put them all the way to the top, it is going to make this hard for this to slide over. Let me try and pull this open again. Oh gosh, I'm having trouble. It will be harder to slide over this piece here. So we only want to put it to where this lid is coming down to. So we're going to pop this onto the bottom like this on all 4 of these. Now I'm going to make sure I've got these all the way the same way. That one's the wrong way. That's it. And we're going to glue those all into place. So making sure that you've got approximately the same distance on these 3 sides. It's not easy to see on white card, but I just thought this would look nice as a white card, because I'm going to put the white candle inside. Okay, so that's my 4 pieces on this larger section here. We're now going to put our 4 pieces along the top here on this part that's bent the opposite way, so it looks like they're going to be like on the wrong way. Now if you've got a directional paper, you're better to do it making sure that your direction, let's put this way, is facing this way when you've got it upside down like this. It looks funny, but let me assure you it's the correct way. So we'll pop those on there. Oh, come on, pick up. I just think this makes a lovely box. I have seen this done quite a few times by different people. So I can't say, oh, this was from somebody in particular. I think I saw this done with Paper Pixie, Mixed Up Crafts, all sorts of people. So This is my version of it, so that coming down like so. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to fold this over like this. Turn it up this side down. Oops, wrong way. That one, not that way. Let's do this the right way round. Pop that in there, and we're going to put some glue on this one. Don't worry about this one at the present time, just this one in the middle here, so we can pop that over like so. And making sure that's nice and even. Give that a nice press down. Give that a few seconds to dry properly, because we're going to manoeuvre this around a bit. Okie dokie. So once we know that's right, we know that's the back seam, so we know that that's the back of the box. So I'm going to pop the sides in. One side in. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on that one. The other side in. Oh, that's the front. That wasn't very clever, was it? Ta-da! And the other side in. And then the front in. Okay, so once we've done the front, we know that's the front. We can then get our foam folder and just push that down nice and tight inside. Okay. Once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to pop this piece, this little flap, in the inside just like this. And very carefully we're going to push this down over the box so that it actually goes down over it. Now it's going to take a little bit of effort to get it around. It's not going to go straight. You're going to have to wiggle it around to get it into the right shape. Once you've got it down there, right like this, then we can actually pop a little bit of glue on this piece. And it's not going to be the exact fit, but it's going to be as close as possible as a fit. So we're going to squeeze that together to get a nice square edge there, and it's nice and square on the top. Then we can play with this once that's dry in lifting it, which, oops, and don't want to glue there, otherwise it's going to stick to everything, and push it up and down to get it moving. And there we go, look, see, it moves up and down quite nicely. And it looks strange because you think, oh God, that looks weird, but it's not. It's really, really quite good. So once we've done that, we can find the front again, which is the one that's got the part that goes straight over, and we're going to pop these two pieces together, which I should have done before. Let's put the pin in the glue because it's so warm. I've actually got the air conditioning going in here on 21 degrees. So it's actually, and it's not really that cool in here. So I've got that onto there. I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals onto the back. And I remember to say dimensionals this time. I've been saying dimensions, but they're dimensionals. I'm surprised that nobody has picked me up on it. And we'll pop that onto the front saying, just thinking of you today. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? And then we'll get a nice bit of ribbon here with a couple of these glue dots. Let's pop these glue dots onto this. Once I've got them on there. There we go. Pop my ribbon onto the top there. That one looks a bit longer, so I'm going to just trim that one off a bit more. Let's get that the same way, so it should be that way. Oh gosh, the wrong scissors. Those scissors don't cut. Oh, come on. Why aren't these scissors cutting either? There we go. And that's our box. What do you think? I love it. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous box. If you would like the written tutorial for this, you can head over to DieStem for stamping, crafting and tutorials on my Facebook group. You will find the link down below here, and you can join me if you haven't already and pick up the written tutorial. The tutorial is written in inches as well as centimetres, so doesn't matter where you live in the world, you will be able to make this box. It fits this candle beautifully, and as I say, see how once you've used it a few times and you can press down on it, it sits in there beautifully. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you've never seen me before, please subscribe so that you don't miss any more videos. I video every Sunday of the month and one Wednesday in the month, which is my Wowzza Wednesday, which is today's project. And I do write the tutorials for all of these projects. You can see them on my Pinterest as well. All the links are down below. I'd love you to join me on all my different platforms. So if I see you there, hi everyone. And if you do leave me a comment, I do comment back. It may take me a day or so depending on what I'm doing. If I don't comment back, it's because I'm on holidays, and I usually tell people that I'm away. And obviously I will comment once I get home. Oh, dearie me. Or in the evening after, if I've got service. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I will be doing this one again, but in different sizes over the year. I love it. I love the way the little box goes together gorgeously. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.